Hi there, welcome everyone. It's me, Lytle, Inner Goddess Tarot. So I'm really excited at something that appeared in the mail for me today. So have a look. The Smith Waite Borderless edition. So I pre-ordered this ages ago and was very pleasantly surprised when it showed up in my mail slot this morning. So I just now took it out of the plastic and had a look at it. So I'm going to very briefly share my first impressions of the deck and show you a few examples, and then you can see what you think. And if you've already purchased this deck and you're working with it, then let me know what you think. Because for me, I mean, what spurred on this purchase was that I absolutely adore the Pamela Coleman Smith's commemorative set, that has the the Smith Waite Centennial Edition deck in it, among a lot of other goodies. And I am such a huge nerd about this deck that I ordered a second copy, and kept it in the plastic between you and me, I will admit it, because I want to make sure I have a copy that stays beautiful and pristine. But the deck itself, here it is. I read with regularly and use it for Tarot Tuesdays, and for my card of the day is sort of my go-to one. And I know people have differing opinions about it. We're just talking about this in my Toronto Tarot Circle Facebook group the other day, and and I'm clear how much I love this deck, and some of the other members of the group are not crazy about it. But for me, I love it. And I was very excited to see that they were coming out with a borderless version, because I wanted to see if it's one that I would like to add to my go-to decks. Personally, I don't, I like the borders in this version. It's not ever something that's bothered me. I've never trimmed my decks, like some people love to create their own borderless decks. It's just not something that occurred to me to do, because I think it's quite beautiful. The way that it is. So I wasn't particularly burning for a borderless deck, but as I say, I just love the Centennial version so much that I'd like another similar one to work with as well. So let's see what we think. So as I say, here's the box. Nice sturdy box. Not that I keep them in a box; they'll go right into some kind of pretty bag, but still good quality. And there's a little blurb, a little write-up on the side, explaining that the borders have been removed to allow the reader to focus on the full pictorial scenes created by Pixie. And this deck, it's 84 cards, because it also includes 4 reproduction samples of her non-tarot artwork, which is fantastic, because I love to see Pixie's other artwork as well. So I think that's fantastic that they've included that as well. And I should say, sorry, it's US Games, of course, published by US Games. And let's have a look. So first thing that strikes me when I took it out of the plastic is that the color of the back of the decks is different. So in my, not the greatest lighting here, but if you can see that color there. And then here's the other version. So it's darker, a bit more green. And in all honesty, I prefer the lighter back color, but it's not the end of the world either way. I think it's still beautiful, still lovely. And then, of course, the little white book that gives some history of the deck, the brief meanings of the deck, that kind of thing that we're all familiar with. And I think there's a Celtic cross in there, Celtic cross spread as well. Yeah, it says the instructions are from The Key to the Tarot by Arthur Edward Waite, so excerpts from that. And a little introduction by Stuart Kaplan, talking about how there was a demand for this borderless deck and how much people love the commemorative set. So they produced this one as well. And then there's a nice little introductory card. So these are the 4 pieces of Pixie's artwork that are included, with their titles and the year they were produced, that kind of thing, which is nice to have that information. And I just love this one. Yeah, so here I'll just give you a sneaky, not a full look, but a sneaky look. Don't want to spoil everything here, of the 4 cards of her other artwork that's included. Yes. And then the deck itself. So what do you think? Here it is, the borderless version. So there's our Fool. And you know what, let me see if I can give you a comparison, because this is the star from the Centennial Edition. And let's have a look at the borderless one. Okay, here she is. So just looking at these side by side, the color is very similar, if not the same. So it's only the card backs that seem to have had the change in color, probably to differentiate between the two decks. And, you know, my first impression of this borderless deck is, you know, I love it. The cardstock is nice and heavy and easy to work with, just the same as the Centennial version, which I appreciate, you know, a deck that's sturdy and can take a lot of use. And yeah, I mean, to me, I just took these out of the plastic, but I love them already, and I look forward to working with them. I think the majors lend themselves very nicely to the, here's the Empress, to the borderless look here. But I think it's going to become more powerful or more apparent in the minors. So let me pull a minor card here. So here's the Eight of Cups, the borderless version. So it does, you know, has a kind of a charm to it, this feeling of really immersing yourself into the image. Because I think maybe I like the borders on the previous version because it does feel sort of, how can I say, reminds you that it's somewhere else, you know, it's otherworldly image you're looking at. This feels almost a little bit easier to step into, you know, it removes that yeah, that border between you and this world, right? So I have to say, it's a subtle difference, and I think, as I said before, like I was never, you know, crying out, wishing that they were borderless, this deck, but I have to say, at first pass here, at first glance, I really like the look. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if the images speak to me in any kind of slightly different way when I'm reading with them, you know, looking at them in a spread without the borders. Because, yeah, it'll be interesting to compare both and see if I do feel that there's a difference. But I'm going to cut it off, gone on too long here already. But in summary, the Smith Waite Borderless Edition, thumbs up. I love it. I'm excited to start working with it. I'm not entirely convinced that I will love it more than this one, because I'm pretty fond of this one and I love the coloring and I like everything going on here. I love it. So I'm not sure if this one is going to take the place in my heart of the other one, but I already love it and really look forward to working with it. So thanks for listening. If you decide to pick up this deck for yourself, let me know what you think. You know, do you feel a difference? Do you not care at all about the borderless? Do you love the borderless? Let me know what you think. Or if you're not a fan of the Centennial Edition or this one, then let me know why, and let me know what decks you prefer working with. And as always, please visit my website, innergoddesstarot.com, for free tarot resources, free learning tarot resources, blog posts, reviews, all that kind of good stuff. And you can get an idea of who I am and what I'm about. Thanks. See you again soon. Bye. Oh, hey, stay tuned. I shouldn't say my next deck. I don't even know if it's right to say review because I love it as well. But the next sneak peek I'll give you is at the Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle. So stay tuned for that video as well. Bye.